All right, apparently we are live. Allow me to quickly confirm the sound is in place. Come on. Don't give me too much of a delay. We are live. Allow me to. Okay, one thing wasn't set right. Quickly. Yeah, now everything is fine. Okay, so for those that do not know me yet, my name is Hightech, Crypto Talk here. 11 years of experience. I will be explaining what Hightech meme coin is, what's going on in the crypto market. Jesus is king, and let's go. And let's go. So today, a few hours ago, I was watching Kevin Svensson's material. Kevin Svensson is one of those famous guys on crypto YouTube. He predicted perfectly, nearly perfectly, how the cycle of 2017, the halving of 2016, 2017 will play out. And he literally predicted it from 100 miles away, when it will top out, when it will bottom out, almost guessed. Like, he missed literally by a couple of hundred bucks, which was absolutely, like, I don't know, some big lottery win, once in a lifetime, maybe in 10 lifetimes. So that's how he became famous. And to his credit, from time to time he gives quite nice insight into what is going on in the crypto market. And yeah, he's actually one of my favorites among Alessio Rastani. Alessio Rastani is number one. Kevin Svensson is actually my number two. So that speaks volumes about how good he is. Because I do not tend, pay my respect to nearly anybody. Why? Because almost no one tells me anything new. So that's why. Nothing that I wouldn't know. At the end of the day, what counts the most is what the chart shows. That always should be number one information, number one source of information that you use. But yeah, he was also pointing to how badly altcoins have performed this cycle, and it would be very, very weird if the cycle ended without altcoins showing up to the party, because they haven't. They've been beaten up over and over again. So exactly what I keep telling you, that altcoins have not seen their respective bull market yet, but it will have to come. And he was also indicating a correlation with quantitative easing from Fed, that, let's say, it is already decided to happen in December, and every single time quantitative easing happens, altcoins go into roaring bull. So yeah, so exactly that thing. I also indicate that altcoins will have to rally. They are very oversold. They collected, nearly every single one of them collected a very large community that is, a cash cow on its own. Why? Because it will be very easy to reignite that, hype spirit in every single one of those communities, that FOMO spirit, from these levels of where the prices are currently. And it will be cheap. On top of that, it will be cheap, because many people, they literally capitulated on their favorite altcoins. They sold it all. So yesterday I was saying about the sentiment, that maybe it is not as bad as Crypto Fear and Greed Index shows, but it's definitely not good. And Kevin Svensson, actually, he writes into what is shown here, right? So he signs under those results of Crypto Fear and Greed Index that the sentiment is really bad. That's interesting because he's also a very big figure in the crypto space. And so he has also quite a good insight, same as Eleni Rastani, quite a good insight. What is up, how people are feeling. But Alessio Rastani was more commenting on the TradFi market rather than on the crypto market, that the sentiment is a little bit too bullish there. So that's why it is still possible to see double digits correction on S&P. But anyway, how S&P is doing? Yeah, so it opened. So it opened lower, just like SPYX was indicating. SPYX was indicating that it will open lower. So once more, we've got a proof that indeed SPYX is a very useful tool. A very useful tool when it comes to analyzing what TradFi is about to do when they are not trading. Yeah. So just, I don't know, save it somewhere. Write it down in a notepad or in your notes, in your note app. It's very, very useful. So apparently, well, it looks like this daily is red on S&P, but not like largely red. What interests us the most is that Bitcoin did not really react bearish to it. It actually bounced. So yeah, recently we actually get those short times of inverse correlation. So not always, but from time to time. So that is why that was my question: how it's going to be this time around, since Bitcoin already plummeted way lower than I was expecting it from Bitcoin. We'll see if that's it. Could be the end, right? It could be the end of this downward move. Of course, you never know after the fact, until after the fact, until it's just all done, and you just look back and you can tell with or certainty, okay, now we are on the opposite end of the stick. But it has papers for it. It definitely could be it. This daily looks like a reversal if it stays that way. And Bitcoin dominance also stays low, which to my satisfaction, which makes me happy. As you see, it didn't really rebound heavily. So apparently altcoins are gaining momentum. There is some capital rotation happening under the hood. So that's a positive. That's a huge positive. And yeah, maybe we'll see altcoins starting major rallies, not next year, because, by the way, Kevin Svensson was actually speculating about the next year. The altcoins will start to kick the bottom, but highly likely sometime next year. And me, myself, judging by the chart, purely by the chart, knowing how huge sell-offs we just experienced, two in a very, very close vicinity of time, because it was this one, and this one was big too, and now on top of it we are having much milder but prolonged sell-off too, which, as you see, this one comes somewhat close to this one. So actually we can count 3, and that's a lot. Given we still see any sort of sell-offs after October 10th. That's quite incredible on its own. And when we add to the picture that is a third one, that's literally an achievement at this point, right? But also a huge takeaway is that as we did not penetrate this level of support, which is around 230 billions, we are stay firmly above. So the outcome market is encountering problems with going lower, and that is of course a good sign. That probably means the outcome market is extremely oversold. It will highly likely refuse to go any lower from here. Why? Because now the best trade for the TradFi is actually um, to engineer a bull market among altcoins, because Bitcoin is at least a solid breather, right? And by the way, Kevin was also referring to the Bitcoin situation. He also reminded that in 2021 we had minus 55% correction. I also remind about that part. Minus 55% correction, and we still continued the bull market of 2021. So things like that are always on the table when it comes to cryptos, because this is simply a very volatile market. In the case, you can never say never here when it comes to that. But yeah, it's heavily writes into all of those instances of very very similar pattern previously. So for now, I'm leaning towards let's say a sudden recovery that will happen, and it will liquidate the bears. We have already a conversion of bears into bulls into bears, because that's what we need. And when we look at Bitcoin liquidation map, let's say at 30-day, as you see, there is overwhelming disproportion in between those that are longing and those that are shorting. So as of now, vast majority is shorting. So maybe, who knows, maybe it has already happened. That's why we are rebounding. Because remember, on futures market, this is only on futures market, right? This is Binance Perpetual. If we see spot, by the way, how the spot is. Do we have spot here or only Perpetual? Only Perpetual. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Anyway, those are bets. Remember, futures market is betting market. So those are bets. And it is very easy for market makers to enforce the result, the outcome of the bet. So yeah, as you see, if we go just to 100, okay, you know what? The 30 days is the largest. So if we go to 160,368 just on Binance, that will be a cumulative liquidation of $3.5 billion. So, and on the other hand, if we push the price, I mean, if the market makers push the price to 80K, the vicinity of 80K, they will earn just $970 million. So that's as you see, that's a huge disproportion. The incentive is definitely in pumping the price, not in dumping the price. So you tell me what happens next. I rather not bet on in this situation. I do not bet on market going lower from here. It already has gone way lower than anyone imagined, I think. At least most people. Quite impressive. So yeah, that's how I see it. I'm still bullish because I've been in this market for 11 years already. I've seen quite a lot on many different altcoins and many different charts, and that's why I have grown a very thick skin when it comes to volatility. It's not like I get scared of every minus 10 or minus 20%. I'm definitely far from it. This market has such characteristic that it just swings quite a lot, and that's it. And you must just take it into account. Not every single minus 30 from the top means the fun is over, right? The bull market is over. As a matter of fact, it happened many times on this chart, and just a couple was with a true intent of ending the bull market. So just keep it in mind. By the way, guys, if you watch it live right now, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to get yourself a little bit of high tech before it's too late. Literally before it's too late, because this is the only project I promote here. That's why it translates to a stock market of my social media. This is actually my small YouTube channel. The big one is much bigger than this one, and yeah, since this coin is so small, this meme coin is so small, and its liquidity is so tiny, it will have it very, very easy whenever whatever size of capital comes here. So it has a lot of let's say potential accumulated, given how my social media are growing, and they are growing at a very satisfactory pace. Maybe with the exception of this YouTube channel, but the other YouTube channel has pure satisfaction to see how it grows. So yeah, this thing here will absolutely explode. The asymmetry of a trade here is, I believe, most extreme in the crypto market. So this will not last forever, and later you'll be mad at yourself that you didn't even get 0.01 of high tech. That was still making the money, and this is actually what I recommend. I recommend to you to get a small amount you can forget about, because investments like that tend to work very, very well. The asymmetry of a trade then is sky high, because even if you lose, well, you weren't remembering about it in the first place. If you win, then one day you open the wallet and you see surprising amount of money there, and then after a while you discover, oh, okay, it was high tech. So yeah, that's my advice here. Okay, guys, so that's all what I wanted to say for now. I will probably be live streaming slightly later, like within next few hours. So stay with me. If you like this format, if you're vibing with me here, stay with me.